Governor Cuomo has begun to lay out the guidelines for attractions in our area, and I'm not afraid to say it. It was all a little bit confusing to me. So to help break it down for us a little bit is Jefferson County Legislator Bobby Cantwell and owner of Old McDonald's Farm in Sackett's Harbor, Julia Robbins. Great to see you guys. Thanks for doing this today.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Okay, so Bobby, let's start with you. Can you just give us an overview of what the governor is passing down to us on a local level, and what does this mean for businesses and for just citizens like you and I in our
area? Okay, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'll give it a shot. So what the governor's doing right now, we're still on pause until the 15th of this coming month in May. So we're about 2 weeks out. They will start phasing. They're calling it phase 1, phase 2, slow progression on opening certain businesses. And I believe right now they're going to look at construction and manufacturing as the first phase to start opening. What all businesses are going to continue to be asked to do is to social distance, be vigilant, do their diligence, and be respectful. Whether it's, staying 6 feet apart, every other booth at a restaurant, contractors opening up, hiring back 50% of their workforce, things along those lines. We're going to be asked to continue to social distance.
Now, Julia, what does this mean for attractions like yours in our area and just generally all tourism-based businesses?
Yeah, so, it's been a frustrating couple of weeks because it's time for us, and it's, we're a seasonal business, as many of the other restaurants and local attractions are. I think of Boat Castle, I think of Uncle Sam's Boat Tours. This is when we're gearing up. We usually have Memorial Day through Labor Day, and then our farm extends into the fall for pumpkins. So it's really hard for us to know when we're going to be able to open. We keep telling our employees, we got to push it back another couple weeks. We don't know. So that's really frustrating. And then it's going to be hard for our business to continue to pay the small staff that we have when we're not open, because we still have to take care of the animals. And then we have to feed the animals. We, buy 50 bales of hay a week to feed them, and we buy all their feed. And so this is when we make our money in these 6 months to take care of the animals all year, and also for our family. This is our income for me, for my parents, and it helps supplement the farm income. And it's the same way for a lot of seasonal businesses too. This is when they make their money. So it's hard to think we might not have a season. So
on a positive note, your business is doing the same thing that a lot of businesses are doing, or trying to rethink how they do their business, and you are able to restructure a little bit and offer something a little bit different. I just wanted to make sure to mention that.
Yeah, thank you. So, our family has always been creative with how we do business, and we've always diversified our farm. Whether, we were originally a dairy, my dad took that into crops, then my mom started Old McDonald's Farm. So we actually started this process in January, talking about bottling our own milk from the farm, because people love local fresh milk. And then we visited our friends in Florida that have a dairy farm, and they're making their own ice cream. And we said, well, we can do this. We can make our own ice cream. So we're going to be working with a processor in Lewis County to pasteurize the milk, and then we'll have it for sale. And then he will also make us a mix for the ice cream, and then we'll be making our own ice cream. And then we're also offering in the next few weeks beef boxes, so people can purchase 20 pounds of burger meat, ground beef, so they can have local beef options as well, and keep their freezer stocked. So
dinner and dessert. So those are some good things we can
Yeah.
look forward to.
Yeah.
Grill it out in the summertime, followed by an ice cream cone. Sounds good to me.
Exactly.
Speaking of dinners, Bobby, I was talking to a local restaurant owner in the town where we live in Clayton last night. Back to the restrictions a little bit. You mentioned the phase of restaurants or of businesses opening. And one of those things that the governor mentioned was maybe, at 50% capacity, things like this. Talking to this restaurant owner last night, he said, if I operate at 50%, I'm not even breaking even. So I guess I know you can't answer for the governor, but how do you think the governor expects these businesses to survive on a 50% profit?
Yeah, it's going to be a
And
struggle.
keep people healthy, by
There's
the
no
way.
doubt.
I don't want to be insensitive to that. I know it's important to keep people healthy, but how do we do both of those things?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle for our local restaurants and other businesses that are in the food services type business. I think that we're acknowledging the fact right now that we're having discussions like we are right now. We'll get back to the powers that be, and they'll hopefully alter the guidelines, regulations, or that they're setting forth. One thing I would like to say that I was very happy that the governor recognized that the North Country is different than Westchester and South the City. And I'm not going political here. I just think that we've been knocking that, waving that flag that the upstate New York is definitely different than downstate. So he acknowledged as far as how we're going to open, or how the state's going to open certain regions, and it's going to be by regions, and it's going to be by certain types of businesses like we discussed. But your question in regards to the restaurants, it is still going to be a struggle. I can completely follow what people are saying, restaurant owners are saying, that they would barely break even if they would. I don't think they would break even with 50% capacity. So clearly that's going to have to be changed. And hopefully, again, the powers that be, by virtue of us talking about it right now, and others will listen. And one good thing, they have been listening, was my point. The governor is listening to upstate New York and recognizing that we are different than downstate. So doesn't help our restaurant, operators. What's the answer for them? 50% is probably not the answer. I'm not a restaurant owner, but obviously you spoke to one, and 50% is not going to work. So I don't have the answer, but hopefully we as the North Country, we as the state, community will figure this out, and we'll push forward. Be supportive, be compassionate, help your neighbor.
Well, I want to thank both of you for taking the time. I know that you're both working hard in different ways to push through this all, and I hope everybody stays healthy and mildly safe.